Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today, I want to have a real, down to earth talk with you. No filters, no fake promises, just the honest truth. I'll admit it up front, I'm not some editing expert, and I'm definitely not a pro when it comes to creating ebooks or fancy trading courses. But if there's one thing I'm tired of, it's losing money. Yeah, can anyone relate? Seriously, we've all been there. For me, trading became my way out. And let me tell you, it wasn't an easy journey. I was buried in debt, stressed out, and didn't know where to start or who to trust. But with me, persistence, and a willingness to learn from my mistakes, things began to change. And honestly, my fifth real trading win wasn't life changing. I made just enough to buy myself a sneaker bar, I mean the chocolate. And that may sound small, but to me, it meant everything. It was proof that I could make progress. I paid all my debts and had the chocolate as a reward, um, even if it was one small step at a time. I know what it feels like to struggle, to doubt yourself, to feel like you're stuck in quicksand while everyone else seems to have it all figured out. That's why I'm here, to share the lessons I've learned and give you the information you need without wasting your time or sugarcoating anything. I don't want to be that guy that can explain something in 10 minutes, but he chooses to do it in 3 hours. That's horrible, dude. Uh, I've been there. I don't know why I should see 3 hours of video for something that could have been explained in 5 or 10 or at least 30 minutes. Uh, well, that's what I hated the most when I began in this. Trust me, I've been in your shoes, and I want to help you to take that first step toward financial freedom. If you're someone like me, lost and underwhelmed, unsure of what method to follow or even what to expect in the market, stick around, you're not alone, and this video might just change your perspective. Alright, let's get into the meat of today's video. This is what you really need to know. You need to know that this works. I divided two things that we need to follow here. Needs that you need to know, like is types of candles, relative strength, currency pairs, sessions, points of interest, divergences, and time frames. That's all the things that I learned from ICT, smart money, and all other um, information that we have, and I adapted it so you can understand this. So I could understand that. And once you know these things, you need to practice the setup, to read the psychology that you need to handle to have this setup, and the risk management. Okay, there are a few things you need to know before we begin with the setup. Uh, the practical recommendations that can set you on the right path. These are lessons I wish someone had told me when I was just starting out, and they come from a hard-earned experience. Well, the first recommendation is that we only use higher time frames, like 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, and 4-hour charts. And you ask me why? Because higher time frames help you to see the bigger picture of the market. They eliminate the noise and distractions of smaller movements, making it easier to identify trends and key levels. Think of it like looking at a map before planning your journey. You wouldn't just zoom in one tiny street, right? Well, the same logic applies here. Also, you will also use the 1 hour time frame, but try not to go lower than that unless it's part of your own setup. You know that lower time frames can be tempting because they move faster and seem more exciting. But here's the thing, they are also much more unpredictable and harder to trade consistently. For beginners, they can do more harm than good. And stick to the higher frames. Trust me, your account balance will thank you. And our setup, at this moment, we just see the bigger panorama. Okay. This setup works about 70% of the time, so you could lose the other 30%. Remember, there's no way to win 100% of your trades. That's impossible. And this is a reality check that every trader needs to hear. Losses are part of the game, and no strategy in the world can guarantee perfection. The goal is not to avoid losing, but to manage your losses and maximize your wins. It's a mindset shift that separates successful traders from those who quit too soon. Okay, also please wait for the setup to form. Do not trade more than twice a week, because if you're lucky, this setup appears twice a week. You know that patience is a virtue, especially in trading. That's for sure. Overtrading is one of the quickest ways to burn through your capital. By waiting for the right setup, you're not just saving money, you're also saving yourself from unnecessary stress and frustration. And do not think that you will be rich tomorrow. With this, you need to practice and be patient. Let me be clear, trading is not a get rich quick scam. It's a skill, and like any skill, it takes time to develop. The good news is that the more you practice, the better you'll get, and the results will follow. hmm Yep, the true setup isn't in the market, it's in your mind. With practice and patience, you'll discover that success comes from within. Okay, now that we've covered the basics, let's dive into the setup itself. Well, now we're on the chart. Uh, I just want you to know that this method is simple but effective, and it's adapted from concepts I learned from ICT to make it easier to understand. This is just in the overview, but it is applicable to today's chart. So, with this, you will be able to begin with your operations, and after that, you will only need to practice and get experience. Because, as I said before, no one knows what is going to happen. We can just speculate and hope for the best probabilities, so you need to understand that the people with real profits know the information because they see it in their heads. And when you know something, sometimes it is almost impossible to explain to other people because they don't see what you see in your head. The best way is giving you the best direction possible, and with practice and experience, you will have the infinite wisdom in your head to see the best scenario in the chart. With that being said, I'll let you know we're going to use three types of candles to guide your trades. Well, the candle type 1, it's the indecision candle. This candle was both buy and sell orders within it, and it doesn't clearly indicate whether the market will move up or down. It represents a moment of hesitation in the market where neither buyers nor sellers have full control. Identifying these candles is crucial because they often signal that a big move is coming. Candle type 2, the reversal candle. Once the indecision candle forms, we look for the reversal candle. This usually happens after the indecision candle forms in 60% of the cases. Um, this is the moment when the market takes liquidity from one side of the indecision candle and then reverses with a strong momentum. It typically forms a noticeable wick, and in the daily time frame, it tells us that big players like institutions or whales are entering the market, and we're gonna go with them. And now the candle type 3, the impulse candle. With about a 70% of probability, the next daily candle after the reversal will be an impulse candle that moves in the direction opposite to the reversal. This is our opportunity to align our trade with the market's momentum and follow the smart money. This is the candle that we are gonna put our operations. Mhm. To bring this to life, let's look at the EUR USD chart. I'll walk you through how to spot these candles, identify identify them, and it's about understanding the story that the market is telling you. By following indecision reversal and impulse candles on the daily chart, you're not just trading, you're aligning yourself with the market's smartest players. Okay, let's begin with some examples without feeling, and let's go. Okay. See here, as I said before, we are in 1 day time frame. This is an indecision candle, this one here. This one here is an indecision candle. This one is another one, and we have a lot like that. Like this one. Yep. With this, we know that there's a huge probability that the next candle will be like this one, and in this inversal candle, this one like from here. And after that, in this setup, in this pattern, the next one after the reversal candle is going to be an impulse candle. If you see in the bigger panorama, this thing happens all the time, and it's where all the market is going to change its direction. See here we have an indecision candle, then here's the indecision candle. You see have liquidity up and down, and then the next day begins with a reversal candle that takes the liquidity from here and goes back with this hard momentum, with this strong movement, and forms an reversal candle. Then once we see that the reversal candle is formed, we wait for the next day, and well, we will need to check in lower time frames. That's something that I will tell you in detail in next lessons. And we will enter in this third candle, that is the impulse candle, and that until it takes the other liquidity from the indecision candle. If you see, that happens a lot here. We have it here. This is another the setup that is forming. Okay, it happened here, also here. Yeah, if you see, this pattern repeats itself almost 70% of the time. It happens once a week if you're lucky, twice, but there are some weeks that this won't happen. So here I need you to understand that we only will trade when that setup, a specific setup, forms. Okay, with this you're able to begin your march in trading, but I know it could be a little slower than you think, but this is what I use and made me profitable. Yeah, I just wanted to share it with you guys. With this, if you're patient, you will be able to earn profits. But we also, if you look at daily time frames, but you need to know that we need to focus on details, because we will have to use a lower time frames to see some things that we need to check to confirm that this is going to happen, because I told you this happens 70% of the time. Okay, this setup, you need to wait for the setup to form, and you will be having more probabilities that you are gonna win this trade. Okay, so see this video anytime, all the times that you need to understand this, because with this you're good to go. So that's it for today's video. I hope this setup gives you a solid foundation to start trading with more confidence. Keep in mind that this was just an overview from a general perspective. There are plenty of exceptions and additional details that you will need to learn to use this method effectively, and I'll be covering those in future videos. So if you found this helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you're looking for exclusive content and tools that complement what I teach, check out the link in the description below. Remember, trading is a journey, not a destination. Take it one step at a time, and don't forget you're not alone in this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.